Interestingly, our guest this morning, we have spoken about this before, and he just reminded us that, look, guys, you want me to come? This thing we spoke about it last time, we barely scratched the surface. Okay, so come and scratch the surface further this morning. Kingsley Obomegbulem is a child and teens counselor, is also a parenting coach. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much, Ayo. Please let me quickly appreciate you. I know you pretend to be humble, but don't worry. You know, the last time we had this conversation, and you actually, this topic actually came from you, which is reclaiming broken fatherhood, you know. And then immediately I left the studio, a movement was born.
Wow.
Yes. And I was sharing with him yesterday, we actually had, on the 27th of June, we had a father summit. And that summit actually brought close to 80 men.
Wow.
It was in Musan, and what we're doing that day was, we're looking at the impact of broken fatherhood. And everybody there, and I use the word everybody, had a fatherhood story that attests to this reality of broken fatherhood.
Fatherhood, them or their father?
You see, the story of every man begins with the father.
Yeah.
Of course, a woman as well. And each of these men, if they are to be honest enough, they will tell you they have a broken fatherhood story. But we've been able to successfully mask this brokenness in such a way that we seem okay, but we're not okay until we are confronted with the need to diagnose or kind of interrogate this brokenness and the trauma that has, emerged or has been lingering from that brokenness. I asked him a very simple question yesterday. There's a question every man who is serious and honest and willing to be vulnerable, when you ask him, it touches on their core. And what is that question? What is your family's darkest secret? What is that thing about your family that if the whole world gets to know, you bury your head in shame? Do you have one? How many do you have? And who enabled it, your father or your mother? Oftentimes. Often. I'm not saying it is always. Most of the time, it is when there's a misalignment between the father and his role as a father. And it is also his poor definition of what that role is. We've been socialized to accept that the role of a father is to provide. So he is fixated with provision. And he makes that his
ultimate goal.
So that becomes what they call your indicator, performance indicator.
What defines him as well?
I have provided. So there comes a problem, two major problems. One, when he is not able to provide, everything becomes dysfunctional because he is not able to provide, based on his definition of provision, which is material, isn't it? But he forgets that there are other things that he's meant to provide. He's meant to provide spiritual direction, whatever that means. He's meant to provide the intellectual environment for the home. He's meant to provide the emotional bank account for people to tap in and withdraw as far as that house is concerned. So constantly, his mood shapes the house. If he's happy, we're happy. If he's sad, we're sad. But he's not aware that when he's gloomy, automatically we become gloomy. If he's not able to manage his failure, his anger, and every other thing, it trickles down to us.
Right. Sorry to butt in. So, from your view your new birthing, I don't know how to call it. Your new movement that was birthed. You said everybody had a story of fatherhood
at that event.
At that event,
yes.
that possibly was not that palatable.
Oh yeah.
So without mentioning names, you
yes.
know, because
what were some
when Ayo started, he said we barely scratched the surface. So let's move on to the next part of the surface that we want to scratch, so we can get deeper. What were some of the issues that people had to deal with?
Correct.
When you ask questions, what people their answers, or when you say they should make contributions.
What I'm going to do, without giving away anything, it's to not just concede, it's to declare without mincing words that for a long time, our fathers, even till date, we don't have a grasp of the emotional impact of what we do or choose not to do as fathers. And that causes a growth. So I'll just give you one. You have a father who rose from adversity. He was poor as a child. He was given birth to by poor parents. And so he managed to escape poverty. So he has the means. But in the course of escaping poverty, he became emotionally insensitive. So he has boys and girls, but he doesn't know how to connect with them emotionally. So they go to school, they come back. How was school? Fine. Did you understand what you were taught? Yes, sir. Have you eaten? Yes, sir. Okay. We're done. Is there anything they said you should buy? No, sir. Okay. The following day, the same process. Following day, like that. What do you think will be happening to that child? And then you meet that boy or that girl and say, please, when you get home, hug your daddy and tell us how you felt. You say,
That with me.
As simplistic, as basic as it is. No. Do you understand? So that is the most quote unquote insignificant, but as insignificant as it seems, see the way you're already feeling. Now,
how am I feeling?
I mean, when I'm telling you, a father is asking you, how was school?
Yeah.
If you as a girl, if you ask that question 5 times, by Friday, will you want to?
Somebody says, go and hug your dad.
You already know. You already know what the man is going to say. So you're like, okay, don't you have other things to say? And you want to talk. And then being a girl who is expressive, that is your boyfriend. You want to communicate. You want to express. You have things to say. You have a fashion sense. Who do you talk to about it? He's supposed to be that boyfriend. You have dreams. Who is unlocking them? Is that boyfriend. You have another potential boyfriend outside who is supposed to guide you so that that guy doesn't prey on you. Is that guy. You have a career choice. You have even female friends who is meant to guide you on how to relate with them. A guy. Then there is the sense of identity, which is that question of who are you? Who do you think you are? The answer to that question flows from your relationship with that guy. And the guy is not around. And there are times you need somebody to just tell you, I believe in you. I could see the things you're going through. But I think you're important. I think you're brilliant. You're a beautiful woman. Don't worry, it's going to be fine. That guy, he don't even know how far. These things are happening to you year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8, year 9, year 16. You gain admission. And then one day on your marking, they just say, oh, hello, beautiful.
Hello, pretty.
Whoa, come on. Are you my Eve? Because my name is Adam. And you just like...
Who be this one?
Your brain, first of all, just... if you were 4 feet, you just suddenly have an additional 2 feet. You just grow taller immediately. You say, wow, where are you coming from? I've never seen such a beautiful dancer. You start to melt. Because the guy who was supposed to acknowledge you, tell you those things, so you get used to hearing them and nobody flatters you.
Yeah.
And the next thing, you move and you start living in his house. On campus. Caribele, the rest is history. Who impregnated you? I'm going to kill you. Okay, calm down.
When you were supposed to.
You know the house. You haven't been around. It sounds simplistic, but that's what it is. That's what it is.
Okay. For the records.
Yes, sir.
Every time you are saying, is that guy, you are pointing in my head. just for the records. Just for the records.
No
okay.
And I also thought to look at you when he's pointing that
so
no
both of this conspiracy, we need to add. But you know, it's also a little interesting, right? That when we talk about fathers,
yes, sir.
We have also heard that fathers are generally, what's the word now, unemotive. And they were not born unemotive, is what you're saying. They became unemotive.
Yes.
What are the ways in which those things happen to those fathers? I think it will be good to know. Then secondly, what are the signs that those things happen? Because as you said, some fathers have found a way to mask those things so that they don't even know that they are broken. And so reclaiming, can't reclaim something that you don't know is lost or so what are the ways in which those things happen? And what are the signs that they have been masked over time that the fathers need to unveil?
I think it flows naturally from the way we were socialized. Now, if you take it back, you find out that I don't know about my grandfather, but I know very well that my father wasn't as expressive as I am emotionally. Now, that has ended. I have broken that, whether genes or whatever it is.
The cycle.
I've ended it.
Yeah.
But look at what I had to do to end it. I had to be deliberate. I had to see that this thing is not working. This thing is making marriage tedious for me. I live in a house, I'm married, but we only discuss things. Rent, school fees, job money. Abi? That's the only thing we discuss. Have you noticed? We don't talk about ourselves because we don't have what it takes. We don't have the skill to discuss about ourselves. There's a lot to talk about. One day my wife said, Guy, we barely discuss ourselves. I said, what is it to talk about ourselves? Unknown to me, I don't have what it takes to hold that conversation. But the moment I said, wow, there's a lot to talk about. We have dreams. We have foibles. We have fears. We have things to do, to accomplish together. You know, the way issues affect us, there are things we can talk about. We have children. They have their peculiarities, their individualities. These are things that we can keep talking and talking and talking, and we'll be tired.
Okay, so do you, I know, okay. You continue your thought, but do you know that from, I don't know if it's just movies, from what we see and what we hear, do you think this is an African or a Nigerian thing? Or because if what we hear is true, people who live in the Western world, they actually do communicate about those things that your wife seemingly opened your mind to, and maybe relationships are easier.
It's not just an African thing, just that it's worse here.
Okay.
Yeah. But so I don't lose the train of thought.
Yeah, continue.
When you socialize a boy in such a way that while he was still forming, he was not told or encouraged to open up. When he becomes old, that's not when to start telling him to start talking. No, the guy, his formative years, he needed to do all of that. He needed to talk. There was a day my son had infections around his local government area. And he was almost coming to the living room to do exhibition. I said, dude, what are you? This place is the living room now. We're not having art exhibition here. But that's how much free,
yes. He had,
I mean, the guy, he can hug you for Africa.
Yeah.
So I saw that, I have broken this thing finally. We can talk about these things. He's talking to you about his growing, he go just see some kids will never let you go there. It's the socialization. So that's how we were raised, Ayo. And then I asked this question. I wanted to ask you this question yesterday. It's still back to answering your question. Did your dad ever told you, or did you ever hear your dad complain that I don't have money, my head, my head is banging, please, you people should get me, can you cover me. Did you ever meet your dad in that state before?
Or maybe between himself and his wife.
They were never vulnerable to us. We didn't know how weak they were. Some of them didn't look like human beings. They didn't act like humans. They were too stoic for us. So now, when I'm sick, the whole house go, no, I know well. I'm in the parlor, I don't cover myself. Hey, my head, I'm not a Superman. I'm not an Iron Man.
Someone once said that, you don't let children know if maybe you can't afford something.
Why?
You should, right?
Why?
Right.
You don't have money? I don't have money.
Simple.
You have money? There's money in the house. Let's spend. Why would you? They need to know that daddy can be broke. So that when they are broke, they know that it's not a problem. And then, mommy is the one that bought this thing. It is not me.
Yeah.
So that when you're married and your wife wants to support, collect the money and spend it. Don't start feeling, no. No, we don't collect money. No. But collect money from your wife.
You haven't still answered the veiling of those things from men who are broken and who have so veiled it that even they don't know that they are broken.
That is where, there's what they call trauma. Sorry, I'll look for the term. But we have these coping mechanisms that we use to mask our vulnerabilities. So rather than become vulnerable, you mask what you're going through. Which is why men suffer a lot of medical condition, but they will never go for care because of that stoicism. So, indicators of broken fatherhood usually exhibit itself or expresses itself from the emotional perspective. Because the emotion is like the structure that carries the human. You get? If you're not emotionally healthy, everything is going to crash. No matter how much physically, how fit you are physically. So indicators of broken fatherhood is men who have broken fatherhood issues, they have a problem building relationships. They can't sustain relationship. Male, female, anybody. Some you can't even do business with them because they don't have a solid foundation of integrity. Because that should also flow from the father. Now most guys who lack those things, they are compensating. Some are Christians, and so they are compensating with their relationship with God. But that's naturally what should flow from a relationship between you and your father.
Okay. Some excessive lifestyle habits also considerable.
Yeah, addictions.
Over smoking, over this, over that.
Addictions, indulgence. Of course, now pornography is the biggest pandemic, and it is as a result of you have a father who hasn't connected with you as far as sexuality issues are concerned. I was talking to an audience one day, and they were like over 300 parents. And I asked, who has had the porn conversation with their son in this house? Less than 5 people. Yeah. So, if your father has not discussed pornography with you and all the sexual related issues, how will you discuss it with your son? How will your son discuss it? It continues to carry over. So that is also an indicator. Thanks, Ayo, for raising that. Those are issues that a lack of father-son, father-daughter relationship. And make no mistake about it. The father and his role are indispensable. You can hire somebody to play the role of mother, and she will play it very well. But to date, the father's role, and I stand to be corrected, and I want anybody to take me up. I can hire a fantastic housemaid, and she might even do better than my wife. But to date, the absence of a father in the life of a child, male or female, continues to trigger and spill into generations.
So we're running out of time, and this is another part too, as always. So for a father watching now, because you said that conversation you had, some fathers were bawling, were crying, after the event. What are the things that a broken father, who may or may not know that he's broken now, begin to do? Some kind of self-reflection. What questions should the fellow be asking himself to begin to go?
Am I allowed to clap for a profound question? First thing, if you're watching this show, the first thing is to do what I call personal fatherhood audit. Ask yourself, have I been a fantastic dad based on these parameters? 1, have I been emotionally available? Have I been physically available? Of course, presence. Have I been spiritually available? Do my children look forward indeed to my coming home?
Or do they scamper when I show?
Or it's just there? You see, if you are that father that your children are at the gate, Daddy, when are you coming back? Oga, you try. It's not because of provision. There's something in these kids that want to relate. That is where we feel the most. And so some men will tell you, I not go kill myself. Oga, you will kill yourself. You have to kill yourself. Because see, that money that you are looking for, at the end of the day, it does not amount to much if there is no emotional relationship
with the children.
Yes. And how do you do that? So ask your children, is there anything you want daddy to do that daddy is not doing now? Very simple. What are those things you look forward to doing with daddy? As simple as this question is, Oga, it can open you up into another level of fathering. What am I doing currently that you want me to do less of?
Or stop.
Do you appreciate, do you envy my relationship with mommy? They will tell you. I know you're always shouting. That last time I saw you and mommy, and you think we're not seeing you. We saw you. And they'll tell you.
Okay. Well, with these few words of yours,
I hope I've been able to confuse you.
I want to thank you very much again. I'm pretty sure that we're going to talk about this again, as always, because
and then we'll look at healing for those who are having currently under that weight, broken fatherhood.
Yes.
How do we heal, and how do we ensure that we start to rebuild?
That is a series.
And then the addendum to the series that renting a mother will do
well, that one will be after the program. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Kingsley Obom is a child and teens counselor. He's also a parenting coach.
Yes.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Ayo.